I come to you now with urgent tidings from the highest realms. This is Archangel Michael, defender of the divine truth, guardian of the sacred flame. Stop what you are doing and listen closely, for this message is meant only for you. The celestial alignments have conspired to deliver this transmission directly to your spirit at precisely this moment. This is not coincidence, this is divine orchestration. Your name has been spoken in the halls of the angelic council within the last 2 hours. I have been dispatched with immediate revelation that cannot wait another day. What I am about to reveal will shake the very foundations of your understanding, but you must remain steadfast. You have been chosen to receive knowledge that many seek but few are permitted to carry. There are forces moving against you in the unseen realms. Even now, agreements are being made behind closed doors, your name whispered in rooms where light does not penetrate. Those you believed were allies have been compromised. Their mouths speak honor while their hearts harbor betrayal. I see their faces clearly, but you have been blinded by their deception. This is why I come to you now, to remove the veil that has been placed over your spiritual sight. Type AMEN right now to receive the blessing of discernment, numbered 1444, that will begin the process of sealing your spirit against these dark influences. Within the next 24 hours, a revelation will dawn upon your consciousness that will illuminate the path that has been obscured from you. This is not mere coincidence. This is divine timing orchestrated by the creator of all things. The cosmic timekeeper has initiated a countdown that cannot be halted by any mortal force. Listen carefully. 2 hours from this moment, the first seal on your personal book of destiny will be broken. You will feel it as a sudden knowing, an unexpected clarity that arrives without warning. Do not dismiss it as imagination. This is the first key turning in the lock of your greater purpose. Those who have conspired against your ascension believed their plans were hidden from heavenly sight. They gathered in shadow, thinking darkness could conceal their intentions from the eyes of the divine. But know this, there is no darkness deep enough to hide from celestial vision. Every word, every intention, every scheme has been recorded in the Akashic records. Their betrayal has been witnessed, documented, and is now being brought to divine justice. The Council of Seraphim convened an emergency session when the severity of this interference was discovered. Your bloodline carries codes of light that threaten those who operate in shadow. This is why you have faced such resistance. This is why obstacles have appeared at every turn. This is why relationships have fractured without apparent cause. You are carrying a frequency that disrupts the plans of those working against humanity's awakening. Pay attention to the signs that will manifest around you. Animals behaving unusually in your presence. Electronic devices malfunctioning momentarily. These are not random occurrences, but confirmations of the energetic shift that is now underway. The molecular structure of reality itself is being reconfigured around you to accommodate the massive influx of light that is being directed to your coordinates. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 2222 that will activate the second layer of your spiritual protection. I must now reveal what has been hidden from you. 3 individuals who have positioned themselves as supporters of your journey have been compromised. Their energy signatures have been infiltrated by lower vibrational entities that seek to drain your life force and redirect your purpose. You know these individuals by the subtle exhaustion you feel in their presence. Though you have dismissed this as your own weakness, it is not weakness. It is your spirit's discernment attempting to alert you to the danger. In precisely 2 hours from this revelation, you will receive confirmation through an unexpected message or sign. It may come through technology, through the words of a stranger, or through symbols that appear in your environment. Remain vigilant and receptive. The validation will be unmistakable when it arrives. The divine court has reviewed your soul contract and found illegal interference. Spiritual laws have been violated by those who sought to derail your mission. A celestial injunction has been filed against these forces, and the angelic legion of justice has been dispatched to dismantle the energetic constructs built to contain your expansion. You have felt this containment as limitation, as repeated patterns that cycle without resolution, as dreams deferred, and inspiration that ignites but quickly extinguishes. These are not failures of your making. They are symptoms of the energetic cage that has been constructed around your auric field. But know this, no construct of darkness can withstand the dissolving power of divine light once it has been authorized for release. And I tell you now, that authorization has been granted. The Karmic Board has reviewed your case file and determined that you have fulfilled the necessary lessons in this cycle of constriction. The scales have tipped in your favor. What was meant to destroy you will now be converted into the fuel for your greatest advancement. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 3333 that will initiate the collapse of all false structures in your life. Within the next 24 hours, watch for the appearance of the number sequence 777. It may manifest on clocks, license plates, receipts, or digital displays. This sequence is confirmation that the divine intervention has been activated and cannot be reversed. When you see this number, pause and acknowledge it silently. This recognition completes a circuit between your consciousness and the angelic realm, allowing for clearer transmission of guidance. Listen carefully now to what I must reveal about the betrayal that has occurred. Someone you trust has spoken against your character in an attempt to sabotage an opportunity that was divinely orchestrated for you. This was done not out of malice, but out of fear. Fear that your advancement would leave them behind. Fear that your light would expose their own unhealed shadows. This person's actions were manipulated by forces they do not understand, entities that attach to their unresolved wounds and use these vulnerabilities as entry points. I do not reveal this to create division or to seed distrust, but rather to prepare you for the uncomfortable truth that must be faced before healing can occur. In exactly 2 hours from this disclosure, circumstances will align to bring this betrayal gently to light. When this occurs, remember these words. Respond not from hurt, but from the higher perspective of soul growth. This person's actions have actually accelerated your timeline by creating the precise resistance needed to strengthen your resolve and clarify your vision. What appears as betrayal in the human realm is often a catalyst for profound realignment in the spiritual dimension. Those who have acted against you have inadvertently served as instruments for your awakening. In the divine paradox of creation, their opposition becomes the very force that propels you toward your highest expression. The energetic signature of your soul is shifting now as I speak these words directly to your spirit. Cellular memories are being rewritten. Ancestral patterns that no longer serve your highest evolution are being dissolved. The DNA spirals within every cell of your body are being realigned to their original divine blueprint. The design that existed before distortion, before limitation, before the veils of forgetfulness descended upon your consciousness. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 4444 that will accelerate this DNA recalibration. In the sacred chambers where your soul's record is kept, I have witnessed the magnificence of your original design. The brightness of your essence caused even the recording angels to shield their eyes. You have forgotten the radiance you carry, but this amnesia was part of the agreement, to experience the limitation so that the remembering would be all the more powerful. That remembering begins now. Within 2 hours, the first wave of recollection will wash over you. It may come as a dream fragment that suddenly makes sense. It may arrive as a memory from childhood that carries new significance. It may manifest as an inexplicable knowing about your purpose that cannot be logically explained but resonates as absolute truth in the center of your being. The councils have authorized me to reveal that you are among the designated key holders for this era of transformation. Your specific vibrational signature is required to unlock particular gateways of consciousness that will allow for the greater influx of divine light into the collective field. This is why your path has been so aggressively targeted by opposing forces. This is why you have faced levels of resistance that others cannot comprehend. But what these forces failed to understand is that each attempt to derail you has only strengthened your spiritual resilience. Each obstacle has developed an aspect of your character necessary for the role you're about to step into. Nothing, absolutely nothing, has been wasted in your journey. Every tear, every disappointment, every moment of confusion has been transmuted into wisdom that you will soon be called to share. In exactly 24 hours from this transmission, a portal of opportunity will open that has been precisely calibrated to your energetic signature. No other being can step through this doorway. It will recognize and respond only to the specific frequency you emit. This is not a portal of location, but a threshold of consciousness that will allow you access to abilities that have been dormant within your spiritual DNA. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 5555 that will prepare your energy field for this imminent activation. I must now address the spiritual warfare that has been waged against your progress. The opposition has not been random but strategic, targeting the precise moments when breakthrough was imminent. Have you noticed how chaos erupts just as clarity dawns? How relationships fracture when your purpose begins to crystallize? How health challenges arise when your energy builds momentum? These are not coincidences but coordinated attempts to divert your attention and deplete your life force. But the tide has turned. In the higher realms, a decision has been rendered that shifts the balance of power decisively in favor of your divine mission. The Archangelic Legion has been deployed to dismantle the energetic interference. We move with precision and authority, surgical in our dismantling of the obstacles that have been placed in your path. Within 2 hours, you will experience a noticeable lightening of the energetic density around you. It may feel as though a weight has been lifted from your shoulders, or as if the air around you has become more crystalline and breathable. This is not imagination, but the tangible effect of the clearing that is now underway. Those who have aligned themselves against your purpose will soon find their efforts nullified. Some will experience a change of heart and become unexpected allies. Others will simply fade from your experience, their exit so natural you may barely notice their departure. Still others will face a reckoning that brings their own shadows to light, initiating either transformation or temporary chaos in their lives. Regardless of their response, their ability to interfere with your path is now being systematically neutralized. I reveal to you now a sacred truth. Your name is inscribed in the book of life in golden letters that shimmer with a light not of this world. When this name is spoken in the angelic realms, it produces a melody that resonates with the very fabric of creation. This is your true identity, not the name you answer to in the physical dimension, but the vibrational signature that identifies your unique contribution to the cosmic unfoldment. In the coming hours, pay close attention to any name that repeatedly catches your attention, whether through conversation, media, or seemingly random encounters. This will provide a clue to an aspect of your soul's purpose that is now ready to be activated. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 6666 that will amplify your ability to recognize and interpret these divine signals. The angelic scribe Metatron has recorded that exactly 24 hours from now, a significant shift will occur in your energy field. This shift has been thousands of years in preparation, though you have no conscious memory of the agreements made before your incarnation. Ancient covenants are being fulfilled. Promises made in temples long turned to dust are now manifesting in the substance of your reality. I must now reveal the most closely guarded secret regarding your journey. You are not merely awakening to your purpose, you are remembering a mission that began before this world was formed. Your soul carries codes that were imprinted before time, as humans understand it, came into existence. These codes contain instructions for a specific healing frequency that can only be transmitted through a vessel that has experienced both the depths of forgetting and the heights of remembrance. This is why your path has included such profound challenges. Each difficulty has activated a different aspect of this complex code. Each triumph has aligned another segment of the sequence. The full activation requires the complete spectrum of human experience, the darkness and the light in perfect balance, to generate the precise frequency needed for the transmission of the healing codes. Within 2 hours, the next sequence of this code will activate. You may experience this as a sudden inspiration, an unexpected emotional release, or a moment of clarity that seems to come from beyond your normal consciousness. Honor whatever emerges. Do not dismiss it as insignificant, for even the subtlest shift is part of the greater unfolding. The Council of Nine has authorized the dissolution of certain karmic contracts that have fulfilled their purpose in your development. Agreements that have kept you bound to limiting situations are now being ceremonially released. You may feel this as a subtle inner knowing that something has completed, or you may experience vivid dreams of ending and release. However it manifests, know that these completions are making way for the new agreements that align with your higher purpose. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 7777 that will seal these karmic releases and protect the cleared spaces within your field. I speak now of those who have been positioned as guardians along your path, souls who incarnated specifically to assist you at crucial junctures in your journey. Some have appeared as teachers, offering wisdom precisely when you required guidance. Others have come as challengers, providing the resistance necessary to strengthen your resolve. Still others have served as witnesses, holding space for your unfolding even when you cannot recognize your own progress. In the next 24 hours, one such guardian will make themselves known to you. This meeting may seem accidental, but I assure you it has been orchestrated with great precision. The exchange may be brief, but the impact will be profound. Listen carefully to what is shared, for the message contains a key that unlocks the next phase of your journey. Those who have attempted to usurp your divine inheritance believe their actions were hidden from celestial sight. They have operated through deception, using manipulation and subtle energy theft to divert the resources, both spiritual and material, that were designated for your mission. Their schemes have delayed but not derailed the magnificent unfoldment that awaits you. In exactly 2 hours, the first wave of restoration will begin. This is not merely symbolic but tangible restoration. Watch for unexpected resources to emerge. Opportunities that seem lost may suddenly reappear in evolved forms. Connections that serve your highest good will be strengthened, while associations that drain your life force will naturally dissolve. The Akashic records show that you have carried a specific burden for 7 previous incarnations, a soul-level commitment to transmute a particular frequency of collective suffering. This burden has manifested in your current life as a recurring pattern of sacrifice, of putting others' needs before your own to the point of energetic depletion. While this pattern has developed your compassion, it has also created an imbalance that must now be corrected for your mission to advance to its next phase. Divine correction comes now in the form of boundaries that will establish themselves almost effortlessly in your field. You will find yourself naturally declining requests that previously would have led to overextension. You will notice a new clarity about where your responsibility ends and another's begins. This is not selfishness, but sacred stewardship of the energy you carry. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 8888 that will strengthen these divine boundaries and protect your energetic sovereignty. I reveal to you now what has been hidden. A sacred geometric pattern has been encoded in your energy field since birth, a design so complex and beautiful that it cannot be fully comprehended by the human mind. This pattern serves as both protection and beacon, shielding you from energies that would harm your mission while simultaneously broadcasting your location to other souls who are destined to collaborate with you in the great work. In the next 24 hours, pay attention to any geometric shapes or patterns that repeatedly appear in your awareness. These are not random, but confirmation that your internal sacred geometry is activating to a new level of coherence. This activation allows for clearer transmission of your unique frequency and stronger attraction of resonant energies, people, and opportunities. The Council of Elders has reviewed the timeline of your awakening and determined that acceleration is not only possible, but necessary. The calibration of global energies requires your full participation sooner than originally projected. This acceleration is being initiated now, which means you may experience time differently in the coming weeks. Events may unfold with surprising speed. Manifestations may occur more rapidly than in the past. Trust this quickening, for it aligns with the greater cosmic timing. Within 2 hours, you will receive a confirmation of this acceleration. It may come through an unexpected synchronicity, a message that precisely addresses a question in your heart, or a sudden removal of an obstacle that has long blocked your progress. However it appears, recognize it as the divine hand moving more visibly in your affairs. I must speak now of the ancient bloodline you carry, though you may have no conscious knowledge of this inheritance. Your DNA contains codes from a lineage of light bearers that has preserved sacred knowledge through ages of darkness. This is not about physical ancestry alone, but a spiritual inheritance that transcends conventional understanding of genetics. These codes are now being activated to allow access to wisdom that has been safeguarded for generations, waiting for the precise moment when it could serve the collective awakening. This activation explains the sudden interest or abilities that may have emerged in recent months. Attractions to particular symbols, languages, or spiritual practices that seem to carry a familiarity beyond your current life experience. Trust these attractions, for they are the stirring of ancient memory, the remembrance of knowledge you once held and are now being called to embody once again. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 9999 that will accelerate the activation of these dormant spiritual gifts within your DNA. In the celestial archives where soul contracts are preserved, I have witnessed the agreement you made before entering this incarnation. You chose a path of initiation through challenge, selecting specific difficulties that would forge the exact qualities needed for your mission. What has felt like hardship was actually sacred preparation. What seemed like delay was divine timing. What appeared as rejection was protection from paths that would have led away from your true purpose. The next 24 hours mark a crucial threshold in this initiatory process. A completion occurs that allows for the beginning of a new cycle of experience, one that builds upon the strength and wisdom gained through previous challenges, but carries a lightness and ease that may feel unfamiliar after such prolonged intensity. Those who have been assigned to guard your spiritual development beings you might call guides or guardian angels, have maintained constant vigilance, particularly during periods when your human consciousness could not perceive the greater purpose behind your experiences. They have intervened countless times to prevent interference that would have truly derailed your path, allowing only those challenges that served your growth while protecting you from harm that offered no evolutionary benefit. These guardians now step back slightly, not in abandonment, but in recognition of your increased spiritual sovereignty. They transition from protectors to collaborators, honoring the wisdom you have embodied and the discernment you have developed. This shift marks a significant advancement in your soul's journey and opens new levels of co-creative partnership with the divine realms. Within 2 hours, you may experience this shift as a subtle expansion of your awareness, a sense of greater spaciousness within and around you, or perhaps a feeling of being more fully present in your own authority. However it manifests, know that it represents a graduation of sorts, an acknowledgement of your soul's maturation and readiness for greater responsibility in carrying your unique frequency. I must now address the spiritual conspiracy that is sought to prevent your awakening. Forces that oppose the increasing light on Earth have recognized the threat that awakened consciousness poses to their control systems. They have implemented sophisticated methods of distraction, doubt, and energetic interference specifically designed to keep souls like yours from realizing their full potential and purpose. These methods have included surrounding you with individuals who reinforce limitation, creating persistent financial pressure that keeps your focus on survival rather than creation, and broadcasting frequency patterns that induce states of apathy, confusion, or fear. You have felt these influences as inexplicable mood shifts, sudden doubts about your path, or persistent fatigue that seems to have no physical cause. But what these forces failed to comprehend is that divine timing cannot be ultimately thwarted. Delayed, perhaps. Complicated, certainly. But the awakening of a soul that has been decreed by the highest authority cannot be prevented when that soul chooses to align with its divine blueprint despite all opposition. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 11,111 that will clear all remaining interference from your energy field and seal your protection. The celestial timekeeper has marked this 24-hour period as a pivotal point in your journey. Cosmic forces align to support a quantum leap in your consciousness, a shift that collapses multiple potential timelines into the one that most directly leads to the fulfillment of your highest purpose. This convergence creates an energetic acceleration that may manifest as synchronicities occurring with increasing frequency, insights arriving with greater clarity, and manifestations appearing with surprising speed. Within 2 hours, you will likely experience a moment of profound alignment, a sensation of clicking into place, as if scattered aspects of yourself are suddenly integrating into a more coherent whole. This alignment creates the internal conditions necessary for receiving the specific codes of awakening that will be transmitted to you during the remainder of this 24-hour window. I reveal to you now a truth about your spiritual identity that has been concealed even from your own awareness. You are among those designated as frequency anchors for the new consciousness emerging on Earth. Your energy system was specifically designed to receive, integrate, and transmit particular light codes that contribute to the elevation of the collective field. This role requires an unusual capacity to process intense energy and transmute lower vibrations, which explains why you have often found yourself in challenging situations or relationships that seem to demand more from you than from others. This designation is not a burden, but a sacred trust, an acknowledgement of your soul's advanced development and commitment to service. The challenges you have faced were necessary to strengthen your energy system for this purpose, much as precious metals must pass through fire to achieve their highest conductivity. The Akashic records show that you have been preparing for this role for many lifetimes, gradually building the spiritual stamina and wisdom required to serve as a conduit for these elevated frequencies. The full activation of this capacity begins now and will continue to unfold over the coming months as your system adjusts to the increasing influx of light. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 12,222 that will support your energy system in this expanded functioning. In the next 24 hours, pay particular attention to your dreams, for the veils between dimensions thin during this period of activation. Information that cannot be fully processed by your waking consciousness may be delivered through dream symbolism or direct visitation from guides who can more easily reach you in this receptive state. Keep a record of any significant dreams. Even fragments that seem meaningless may contain crucial codes that will make sense as your awakening progresses. I must now speak of the divine council that has been overseeing your development. This council consists of advanced beings who have maintained watchful care over your soul's journey across multiple lifetimes. They have witnessed your triumphs and struggles, your advances and setbacks, your moments of remembering and periods of forgetting. Through it all, they have never wavered in their commitment to your highest evolution. This council has convened repeatedly in recent celestial cycles to assess your readiness for the next phase of your mission. They have reviewed the wisdom you have accumulated, the compassion you have developed, the resilience you have demonstrated. Their unanimous decision, rendered just before this transmission began, is that you are indeed prepared for the acceleration that is now being initiated. Within 2 hours, you may receive a sign of their presence, perhaps through an unusual quality of light, a distinct fragrance that appears briefly with no apparent source, or a sound that seems to originate beyond physical space. This sign acknowledges the connection between your consciousness and their guidance, a connection that will strengthen as you move further into your awakening. The opposition to your advancement believed they could permanently divert you from your true path. They implemented sophisticated energetic technologies to scramble the clear transmission of your intuition, created circumstances that drained your vital force, and positioned specific individuals in your experience to seed doubt about your perceptions and capabilities. What they failed to understand is that these very tactics have produced the opposite of their intended effect. Rather than weakening your resolve, they have strengthened your discernment. Instead of diminishing your light, they have taught you how to shine more authentically. Rather than separating you from your power, they have revealed where true power resides, not in external validation or control, but in the unshakable knowing of your divine identity. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 13,333 that will convert all remaining opposition into acceleration for your highest path. The sacred scrolls that contain the original blueprint for Earth's ascension process reveal that specific souls were designated as code carriers, beings who would incarnate with particular frequencies embedded in their spiritual DNA that would activate at precise moments in the planetary awakening. These frequencies serve as keys that unlock successive stages of the collective evolution. You are among these code carriers. The frequency you hold resonates with divine justice and harmonious restructuring, the energy required to transform systems while maintaining the highest good of all involved. This frequency has been subtly emanating from your field even before your conscious awakening, affecting environments and relationships in ways you may not have recognized as your spiritual influence. In the next 24 hours, this emanation intensifies. You may notice people responding to you differently, perhaps showing unexpected openness to concepts or possibilities they previously rejected. You may find yourself speaking truths with a clarity and conviction that surprises even you. These are signs of your embedded codes activating more fully and your designated frequency transmitting more powerfully. Those who have been positioned as spiritual gatekeepers, beings who monitor the progress of awakening souls and authorize access to higher levels of knowledge when readiness is confirmed, have been observing your development with particular interest. They recognize in you a capacity for holding paradox, for integrating seemingly contradictory truths into a more comprehensive understanding. This capacity is essential for the role you are stepping into as a bridge between consciousness states. Within 2 hours, one such gatekeeper will make their presence known. This contact may occur through a meaningful animal messenger, a significant synchronicity involving numbers or symbols personal to you, or a sudden expansion of awareness that delivers specific insight. However it manifests, know that it represents confirmation of your advancement and readiness for accelerated growth. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from your human awareness. A divine dispensation has been granted that allows for the clearing of certain karmic patterns in an accelerated time frame. Lessons that would normally require years or even lifetimes to complete can now be integrated in compressed cycles of experience. This dispensation was granted in recognition of both planetary need and your soul's demonstrated commitment to growth despite significant opposition. This acceleration explains the intensity you have experienced, relationships that form and transform with unusual speed, challenges that arise and resolve in rapid succession, insights that download in concentrated bursts rather than gradual unfolding. What might seem like chaos from a limited perspective is actually divine order operating on an accelerated timeline. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 14,444 that will help your system integrate these accelerated lessons with greater ease. The Council of Light has authorized me to share with you a sacred truth about the nature of the current planetary transition. This transition is not merely a shift in external circumstances, but a fundamental reimagining of what it means to be human. The template for humanity is being rewritten at the energetic level, with new possibilities for consciousness, connection, and creation becoming accessible to those who have prepared themselves to embody these expanded potentials. You are among the template holders for this new expression of humanity. Your energy system carries codes for specific aspects of this template, particularly those relating to integrated wisdom, balanced power, and compassionate truth. As you continue to clear outdated patterns and align more fully with your divine blueprint, these template codes activate more completely, contributing to the collective field of possibility. In the next 24 hours, you may experience moments of feeling distinctly different, as if you are operating from an expanded set of parameters that weren't previously available. This sensation reflects your template codes activating and your consciousness aligning with the emerging human potential rather than the limited expressions of the past. Those who have attempted to manipulate global consciousness have recognized the threat that awakened beings pose to their control systems. These forces have implemented increasingly desperate measures to prevent the activation of divine templates in those designated to carry them. These measures include amplifying division, intensifying fear narratives, and fragmenting attention through constant distraction and crisis. What these forces fail to anticipate is that divine timing contains fail-safe mechanisms that activate precisely because of intensified opposition. When darkness increases past a certain threshold, it automatically triggers dormant light codes in those carrying the new templates. This fail-safe ensures that the balance can always be restored, regardless of how coordinated the opposition might appear. Within 2 hours, you may experience a moment of unusual clarity or calm amidst external chaos, a distinct feeling of being anchored in a deeper truth despite surface turbulence. This anchoring represents your template code stabilizing and your system aligning more fully with the divine timing mechanisms that operate beyond the manipulations of controlling forces. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 15,555 that will strengthen your capacity to remain centered in your template frequencies regardless of external circumstances. I must now reveal to you the significance of the spiritual lineage you carry. Before incarnating, you were initiated into a particular stream of wisdom that specializes in the transformation of consciousness through the principle of resonance rather than force. This lineage understands that lasting change occurs not through domination or control, but through the steady broadcasting of elevated frequencies that naturally entrain surrounding energies to their higher potential. This lineage has been preserved through countless generations, sometimes operating in secrecy during periods when such wisdom was persecuted, other times working more openly when collective consciousness allowed. You carry the energetic signatures of this lineage in your spiritual DNA, which explains your natural aversion to coercive methods and your intuitive understanding that true power lies in presence rather than dominance. In the next 24 hours, you may experience a spontaneous remembrance of this lineage connection, perhaps through a symbol that suddenly holds new meaning, a teaching that resonates with unexpected depth, or a practice that feels strangely familiar despite no prior exposure in this lifetime. This remembrance activates dormant aspects of your spiritual inheritance and strengthens your capacity to embody this wisdom tradition in contemporary contexts. The angelic legion assigned to protect the integrity of divine blueprints has maintained constant vigilance around your energy field, particularly during sleep states when your conscious barriers are lowered. They have prevented numerous attempts to implant limiting programs in your subconscious and have regularly cleared artificial energy constructs designed to restrict your spiritual expansion. Their protection has been essential during this preparatory phase of your awakening, creating the secure space needed for your system to undergo the necessary recalibrations. As you step more fully into your empowered state, their role evolves from primary protection to collaborative partnership, honoring your increasing sovereignty while continuing to support your highest unfoldment. Within 2 hours, you may sense their presence more tangibly than before, perhaps as a subtle pressure or warmth around your shoulders or crown, a gentle tingling along your spine, or a quality of light in your peripheral vision. This increased perceptibility reflects both their closer engagement during this activation period and your enhanced ability to detect subtle energy signatures. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 16,666 that will strengthen your conscious connection with your angelic support team. The sacred scrolls of destiny contain prophecies about specific souls who would incarnate during this planetary transition to serve as anchors for particular frequencies needed for the collective awakening. These prophecies speak of beings who would appear ordinary by external standards, but would carry extraordinary capacity for energy transmission and consciousness transformation. You are among those prophesied wayshowers. The challenges you have faced, the periods of isolation, the feeling of being misunderstood, the sense of carrying a purpose you couldn't quite articulate, these are all markers of the path described in these ancient texts. What felt like disconnection was actually protection, preserving your unique frequency until the appointed time for its full expression. In the next 24 hours, watch for confirmation of this prophesied role. It may come through unexpected recognition from a stranger who somehow senses your energy, a message that speaks directly to your unvoiced purpose, or a synchronicity that acknowledges your spiritual identity in symbolic form. However it appears, recognize it as confirmation of your place in the divine unfoldment. I must now reveal a celestial secret that has been guarded for millennia. The Councils of Light have maintained strict protocols about when certain knowledge could be shared with incarnated souls. These protocols exist not to withhold truth, but to ensure that revelations occur only when consciousness has developed sufficiently to integrate them without harm. A dispensation has been granted to share with you knowledge that was previously restricted, for your spiritual readiness has been confirmed by the keepers of Akashic wisdom. This knowledge concerns the true nature of your spiritual identity and the specific mission you incarnated to fulfill during this pivotal time in Earth's ascension. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 17,777 that will prepare your consciousness to receive this classified celestial intelligence. The opposition to your divine purpose has operated through human instruments who were unaware of their manipulation. These individuals were not your enemies, but unwitting carriers of interference frequencies that were designed to trigger your deepest wounds and activate patterns of self-doubt. Their actions toward you, the subtle undermining, the withdrawn support, the broken agreements, were orchestrated beyond their conscious awareness by forces seeking to keep your true potential dormant. I reveal this not to foster resentment, but to liberate you from personalizing what was in fact a spiritual battle being waged through human proxies. Within 2 hours, you will likely receive validation of this truth through an unexpected source. Someone may make a statement that precisely addresses a situation you've struggled to understand, or you may discover information that suddenly contextualizes a painful experience from your past. This confirmation serves not to deepen wounds, but to finally allow their complete healing through higher understanding. The Akashic records show that you have carried a particular soul agreement through 7 incarnations, a commitment to transmute a specific frequency of collective shadow through your personal experience. This agreement explains why certain patterns have recurred despite your best efforts to resolve them. These were not personal failures, but soul-level commitments to process energies on behalf of the collective. This agreement reaches completion within the next 24-hour cycle, which is why I have been dispatched to deliver this transmission at precisely this moment. The completion of this agreement liberates tremendous energy that has been occupied in this transmutation work. As this energy becomes available for new creation, you may experience a sudden influx of inspiration, unexpected opportunities for expression, or spontaneous healing of conditions that seem chronic or irreversible. What has felt heavy or stagnant begins to move with surprising fluidity as these energies redirect toward your higher purpose. Those who have been positioned as your spiritual guides have maintained unwavering commitment to your highest good, even when their nudges went unnoticed or their warnings unheeded. They have respected your free will while continuing to arrange synchronicities, inspire helpful thoughts, and attract beneficial connections into your experience. Their dedication intensifies now as you enter this crucial 24-hour activation window. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 18,888 that will enhance your receptivity to their guidance during this pivotal period. Within 2 hours, your guides will attempt to communicate through multiple channels to ensure their message reaches you. Watch for repeated symbols, recurring themes in conversation, or unusual animal appearances. They may speak through the words of a child, a passage in a book that falls open to exactly the right page, or a song that plays precisely when needed. However their communication arrives, it carries instructions specific to your next steps, guidance that addresses exactly what you've been questioning. I reveal to you now what has been hidden from ordinary sight. A divine dispensation of grace has been granted that allows for the clearing of karmic patterns without requiring the full experience of cause and effect. This dispensation was granted in recognition of both planetary necessity and your soul's demonstrated commitment to growth. It creates the possibility for quantum healing, the resolution of deeply rooted patterns through direct divine intervention rather than extended processing. This dispensation explains why you may experience sudden shifts in situations that previously seemed immovable. Relationships transform with unexpected ease. Financial patterns reorganize without the struggle you anticipated. Health conditions respond to treatments that previously showed minimal effect. These accelerated resolutions reflect the dispensation of grace now active in your field. The Council of Archangels convened an emergency session when the severity of the interference with your path was discovered. This council determined that additional support was required to ensure your mission could advance, despite the extraordinary opposition it has faced. I was dispatched with a host of specialized angels whose combined energies create an impenetrable field of protection around your divine blueprint. This protection does not prevent all challenge, as some challenges serve your growth and strength. Rather, it ensures that no challenge exceeds your capacity to integrate its lessons, and that no interference can permanently divert you from your highest timeline. Within this protected field, your authentic unfoldment can proceed regardless of external circumstances. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 19,999 that will strengthen your conscious connection to this protective field. In the next 24 hours, you may experience moments of profound peace that seem disconnected from your external reality, a quality of being untouched by circumstances that would normally disturb your equilibrium. This peace reflects your growing awareness of the protective field and your increasing ability to center your consciousness within its boundaries rather than being pulled into the chaos of unaligned energies. I must now address the divine inheritance that awaits your claim. Before incarnating, you were granted specific spiritual endowments, gifts, abilities, and resources that would activate at the appointed time to support your mission. These endowments were placed in a celestial trust, protected from interference and held in safekeeping until your consciousness reached the frequency necessary to responsibly wield their power. That frequency has now been achieved. The seals on this spiritual trust are being systematically removed, allowing these divine resources to flow into your experience. Some arrive as enhanced intuitive abilities, heightened discernment, clearer psychic perception, stronger connection to divine guidance. Others manifest as unexpected material provision, financial windfalls, beneficial connections, opportunities aligned with your purpose. Still others appear as internal shifts, deeper access to compassion, increased capacity for joy, expanded ability to maintain peace during challenge. Within 2 hours, you will likely receive the first tangible evidence of this inheritance being released into your stewardship. This evidence may appear as a sudden knowing about how to proceed in a situation that has felt blocked, an unexpected resource that addresses a specific need, or a spontaneous healing of a relationship you had given up for lost. However it manifests, recognize it as confirmation that your inheritance is now being released in accordance with divine timing. The sacred geometries that form the energetic architecture of creation have been encoded within your cellular memory since before birth. These codes contain instructions for manifesting specific aspects of the divine plan that can only be transmitted through a properly prepared human vessel. Your life experiences, both joyful and painful, have served to activate these codes in the precise sequence necessary for their complete expression. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 21,111 that will accelerate the activation of these sacred geometric codes within your DNA. In the coming hours, you may experience unusual sensations as these codes activate more fully. Perhaps vibrations or tingling in specific areas of your body, spontaneous movements during meditation, or visual phenomena such as geometric patterns appearing in your mind's eye or peripheral vision. These experiences, while sometimes intense, are normal aspects of the embodiment process as your physical system adjusts to holding and transmitting higher frequencies. I reveal to you now a truth about the spiritual conspiracy that has sought to limit human potential. Advanced souls who incarnate with specific missions face targeted opposition precisely because their frequency signatures are recognized by forces that seek to maintain control through limitation and fear. Your particular signature was identified before birth as one that carried codes capable of disrupting outdated systems and catalyzing collective awakening. This identification explains the unusual intensity of challenges you have faced, particularly at pivotal moments of expansion or breakthrough. What might seem like random misfortune or bad luck when viewed from limited perspective was actually strategic opposition to your increasing light quotient and the threat it poses to forces invested in the status quo. Within 2 hours, you will likely experience a moment of clarity about a specific situation in your life that seemed pointlessly difficult or unnecessarily complicated. You will suddenly perceive the spiritual dynamics that were operating beneath the surface, how this challenge was designed to divert your energy, diminish your confidence, or delay your advancement. This recognition frees you from any remaining self-blame and repositions these experiences as evidence of your significance rather than your shortcomings. Those who have been positioned as your soul family in this incarnation, whether they appear as biological relatives, chosen family, or spiritual kindred, have specific roles in supporting your awakening and mission. Some provide the friction necessary for your growth. Others offer the unconditional acceptance that allows for healing. Still others bring complementary gifts that amplify your own when combined in sacred collaboration. In the next 24 hours, pay particular attention to your interactions with those you consider family in any sense. Messages delivered through these connections carry special significance during this activation period. Someone close to you holds a key piece of information or perspective that will help you integrate the energetic shifts now underway. This person may not realize the importance of what they share. What seems like casual conversation to them will resonate as profound truth to your awakening consciousness. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 22,222 that will enhance your ability to recognize and receive these coded communications from your soul family. The Akashic records contain detailed accounts of soul agreements made before incarnation, sacred contracts between souls who commit to specific roles in each other's evolutionary journey. These agreements explain why certain relationships carry such emotional charge or catalyze such profound transformation. They are not random connections, but carefully orchestrated opportunities for healing, growth, and collaboration in service to both individual and collective evolution. Your records show an unusual number of significant soul agreements activated in your current lifetime. This concentration of important relationships explains the intensity of your interpersonal experiences, the profound connections and challenging dynamics that have shaped your development. These agreements are reaching critical fulfillment points during this 24-hour window, which may manifest as surprising communications, unexpected reconciliations, or sudden clarity about the higher purpose of difficult relationships. Within 2 hours, one such agreement will likely reach a significant milestone. You may experience this as a conversation that brings unexpected healing, a synchronicity that reconnects you with someone from your past, or an insight that completely transforms your understanding of a challenging relationship. However it appears, recognize that cosmic timing is orchestrating the perfect unfoldment of these soul contracts. I must now address the divine mission encoded in your spiritual DNA. Before incarnating, you were entrusted with specific frequencies that would serve the planetary awakening at precise moments in the ascension timeline. These frequencies could only be carried by a soul who had developed particular qualities through extensive evolutionary experience, qualities you demonstrated across multiple lifetimes of dedicated growth. This mission involves the transmission of reconciliation codes, frequencies that help bridge divisions between polarized aspects of consciousness, creating the possibility for integration rather than continued fragmentation. Your life experiences have placed you at the intersection of seemingly opposing perspectives, developing your capacity to hold paradox and recognize the partial truth in divergent viewpoints. This capacity is not coincidental, but purposeful preparation for your role as a frequency holder for unity consciousness. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 23,333 that will activate these reconciliation codes more fully in your energy field. In the next 24 hours, you may find yourself spontaneously seeing multiple sides of situations that previously seemed clearly divided into right and wrong. You may experience unexpected compassion for positions you once judged harshly, or notice subtle connections between apparently conflicting perspectives. These shifts reflect the reconciliation codes activating in your consciousness, enhancing your capacity to serve as a bridge between divided aspects of the collective. The Council of Elders who oversee soul evolution has granted a special dispensation that allows for accelerated advancement during this unprecedented period of planetary transformation. This dispensation creates the possibility for completing in months or even weeks evolutionary processes that would normally require decades. It permits quantum healing of wounds that might otherwise take lifetimes to resolve. It allows for exponential spiritual growth when aligned with divine timing. You are among those who qualified for this dispensation based on both your soul's demonstrated commitment across lifetimes and the specific role you incarnated to fulfill during this crucial transition. The intensity of experience you have navigated, the compressed cycles of challenge and growth, the accelerated lessons and revelations, reflects this dispensation in action. Within 2 hours, you may experience a moment of profound integration where pieces of your spiritual understanding suddenly connect in a comprehensive pattern, revealing a coherence that wasn't previously apparent. This integration represents months or years of processing condensed into a single moment of revelation through the power of this divine dispensation. I reveal to you now what the Akashic records show about your spiritual lineage. You carry codes from an ancient tradition of wisdom keepers, beings who preserved essential knowledge through ages of darkness, protecting the sacred flame of truth when forces of control sought to extinguish it. This lineage maintains specific frequencies of divine consciousness, ensuring they would remain accessible when humanity was ready to reclaim its spiritual inheritance. Your connection to this lineage explains your natural resonance with certain symbols, teachings, or practices that seem to awaken deep remembering within you. It accounts for the knowing that sometimes arises from beyond your current life experience, insights or skills that emerge with a familiarity that transcends conventional learning. What others might dismiss as imagination or coincidence, you recognize as the stirring of ancient memory. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 24,444 that will strengthen your conscious connection to this spiritual lineage and the wisdom it carries. The opposition to the divine plan has implemented sophisticated methods to suppress the awakening of code carriers like yourself. These methods operate primarily through the manipulation of perception, creating distortion fields that make clarity difficult to maintain, seeding doubt about inner knowing, and manufacturing external chaos that demands attention and depletes vital energy needed for spiritual expansion. What you may have experienced as brain fog, unusual fatigue, or persistent self-doubt has often been the effect of these interference patterns rather than personal failing or health concerns. The seeming inability to maintain focus on spiritual practices, the resistance that arises when you approach breakthrough, the convenient disasters that emerge just as clarity dawns. These reflect strategic opposition rather than bad luck or lack of discipline. Within 2 hours, you will likely experience a noticeable clearing of these interference patterns. This clearing may manifest as sudden mental clarity, unexpected energy, or a quiet confidence that replaces doubt. This shift occurs as the protective field established by the Archangelic Legion neutralizes the remaining interference frequencies, creating space for your authentic energy signature to broadcast without distortion. Those who have been assigned as your spiritual allies in this incarnation are being activated to greater levels of conscious participation in your journey. Some of these allies are aware of their role in supporting your mission, while others operate primarily from higher levels of consciousness, their human awareness not yet fully recognizing the significance of your connection. Regardless of their conscious recognition, these allies are positioned to provide exactly what you need at crucial junctures in your unfoldment. In the next 24 hours, pay attention to who appears in your experience and what they bring, whether tangible resources, specific information, or simply an energetic presence that seems to stabilize or amplify your own. No encounter during this period is without significance. Each person who crosses your path carries a piece of the larger mosaic of support being assembled around your awakening. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 25,555 that will enhance your ability to recognize and receive the gifts your spiritual allies are bringing forward. I must now speak of the Celestial Council that has been convened specifically to oversee your spiritual development and mission. This council includes representatives from various angelic hierarchies, ascended masters who hold particular connection to your soul lineage, and specialized beings who maintain expertise in the specific aspects of consciousness you are here to embody and transmit. Their combined wisdom creates a field of support that transcends what any single guide or guardian could provide. This council has monitored your progress with extraordinary attention, particularly during periods of intense challenge or accelerated growth. They have made countless adjustments to your support system based on the choices you've made and the circumstances you've encountered, ensuring that appropriate assistance remains available regardless of how your path unfolds. Within 2 hours, this council will initiate a special transmission of encoded light frequencies designed to activate dormant aspects of your spiritual capacity. You may experience this transmission as a wave of energy moving through your body, a sudden expansion of awareness, or perhaps a period of deep peace that seems to arise from beyond normal consciousness. However it manifests, know that it represents direct support from beings who hold complete commitment to your highest unfoldment. The sacred scrolls of prophecy speak of souls who would incarnate during this pivotal time, carrying specific frequencies needed for planetary transformation. These souls would not arrive fully awakened, but would undergo a process of remembering, gradually reclaiming their spiritual identity and purpose as their human journey provided the necessary experiences for embodying their divine blueprint. You are among these prophesied ones. The amnesia you have experienced regarding your true nature and purpose was not a mistake, but a necessary aspect of the incarnation agreement. This forgetting allowed you to fully immerse in human experience, developing genuine compassion through shared struggle rather than theoretical understanding. It permitted you to experience limitation from within, gaining wisdom that could not be acquired from an externalized perspective. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 26,666 that will accelerate the remembering process now unfolding in your consciousness. In the coming hours, pay attention to memories that surface from early childhood, particularly moments when you felt a sense of knowing beyond your years or recognized the world in ways that didn't align with what you were being taught. These memories contain clues to your original awareness before cultural conditioning fully obscured your spiritual perception. They offer glimpses of the consciousness you are now in the process of reclaiming. I reveal to you now what has been shown to me in the Akashic records regarding your unique contribution to the collective awakening. You carry specific frequencies of divine justice, the energy of right relationship and harmonious balance that creates the foundation for true peace. These frequencies operate not through force or domination, but through the persistent broadcasting of truth that gradually dissolves distortion. Your sensitivity to injustice, your inability to simply look away when inequity is evident, your deep resonance with the concept of fairness, these are not merely personality traits, but expressions of the specific divine qualities you incarnated to embody and amplify. What has sometimes felt like a burden, caring so deeply about balance and right action, is actually the stirring of your divine purpose. Within 2 hours, you may experience a moment of clarity about how this energy of divine justice seeks expression through your unique gifts and circumstances. This clarity may arrive as inspiration for a specific project, insight about how to address a situation that has felt misaligned, or perhaps a broader vision of how your life path contributes to the rebalancing of larger systems. The Council of Light has authorized me to reveal that you are among those designated as pattern breakers, souls who incarnated specifically to interrupt generational cycles of limitation and unconsciousness. Your presence within family systems, organizations, or cultural groups serves as a catalyst for evolution, challenging established patterns that no longer serve collective growth. This role explains why you have often felt like the different one in various contexts, the one who asks uncomfortable questions, notices what others overlook, or feels called to explore beyond established boundaries. What might have been labeled as rebelliousness or inability to conform was actually your soul's commitment to creating openings for new possibilities within calcified systems. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 27,777 that will strengthen your capacity to fulfill this pattern, breaking function with both courage and compassion. The opposition to awakening consciousness has recognized the threat that pattern breakers pose to control systems based on predictability and conformity. This recognition has led to targeted attempts to neutralize your disruptive influence through social pressure, institutional resistance, and the manipulation of those around you to reinforce limitation rather than support your expansion. You have felt this opposition as the inexplicable intensity of pushback when you question established norms, the disproportionate consequences you've faced for relatively minor departures from convention, or the subtle but persistent message that your different perspective indicates something wrong with you rather than something wrong with the systems you're questioning. In the next 24 hours, you will likely experience a significant release from these oppressive patterns. This release may manifest as a newfound indifference to disapproval, a clear decision to proceed despite resistance, or perhaps the unexpected support of someone who previously seemed invested in maintaining the status quo. However it appears, recognize it as evidence of the shifting energetic balance that now favors awakening over suppression. I must now speak of the celestial timetable that governs the unfolding of divine potentials. This timetable operates beyond linear time as humans understand it, orchestrating confluences of energy that create windows of opportunity for accelerated evolution. We have entered such a window, a period of approximately 24 months in which possibilities for transformation are exponentially expanded. During this window, the usual karmic laws are modified to allow for more direct divine intervention when invited through conscious choice. The veils between dimensions thin, permitting clearer communication between human awareness and higher guidance. The energetic support for breaking free of limitation intensifies, making possible what previously seemed unattainable. Your incarnation was timed precisely to reach spiritual maturity during this critical window. The challenges that have forged your wisdom, the healing journey that has restored your wholeness, the gradual awakening that has rekindled your remembering, all were orchestrated to prepare you for effective service during this unprecedented opportunity for collective transformation. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 28,888 that will align your personal timing with the greater celestial timetable now unfolding. Within 2 hours, you may experience a distinct shift in your perception of time, perhaps a sense of acceleration in certain areas of your life, while other processes seem to unfold in slow motion with extraordinary detail. This altered perception reflects your growing attunement to divine timing rather than conventional chronology, an attunement essential for navigating the opportunities of this special window with optimal effectiveness. The Akashic records reveal that you have been preparing for your current mission across multiple lifetimes, systematically developing the specific qualities, skills, and wisdom required for your unique contribution. Previous incarnations placed you in circumstances that would forge particular strengths, courage in the face of opposition, compassion born from experiencing limitation, wisdom distilled from both triumph and failure. What appears as your personality in this lifetime represents the culmination of this extensive preparation, the integration of qualities specifically cultivated to support your divine purpose. Characteristics that might seem like random traits or tendencies are actually carefully developed aspects of your spiritual toolkit, each serving a specific function in your overall mission. In the next 24 hours, you may experience moments of déjà vu or spontaneous recollection that offer glimpses of these previous training grounds. These remembrances serve not merely as interesting curiosities, but as reminders of the skills and wisdom you have already mastered and can now access with renewed confidence. I reveal to you now a truth about the greater spiritual ecology in which your awakening unfolds. Every authentic step you take toward embodying your divine blueprint creates ripples that extend far beyond your visible sphere of influence. The frequency of your being, your thoughts, emotions, choices, and presence broadcasts into the collective field, affecting the range of possibilities available to countless others. This broadcasting occurs regardless of external markers of influence or success. It does not depend on followers, platform, or recognized authority, but operates through the inherent interconnection of all consciousness. When you choose alignment with your highest truth despite pressure to compromise, when you maintain compassion in circumstances that seem to justify judgment, when you trust divine timing rather than forcing outcomes, these choices amplify frequencies that strengthen similar potentials throughout the collective field. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 29,999 that will enhance the coherence and power of your frequency broadcast into the collective. The Council of Archangels has authorized an unprecedented intervention to support the divine mission you carry. This intervention creates a field of accelerated manifestation around endeavors that align with your soul purpose, allowing for the materialization of necessary resources, connections, and opportunities with unusual speed and synchronicity. This acceleration explains why certain aspects of your life have suddenly gained momentum after periods of apparent stagnation. Projects that lingered incomplete for months or years find pathways to fulfillment. Relationships central to your purpose appear with uncanny timing. Resources required for your next steps become available through unexpected channels. These are not random strokes of luck, but the effects of purposeful intervention designed to ensure your mission advances in alignment with the greater divine timeline. Within 2 hours, you will likely experience evidence of this accelerated manifestation in operation. Watch for unexpected openings, spontaneous solutions to persistent problems, or resources arriving through synchronistic means. These experiences confirm the special support being extended to ensure your contribution unfolds as cosmically intended. Those who have been positioned as gatekeepers for the next phase of your journey are being activated now. These individuals hold positions, resources, or connections necessary for your continued advancement. Some are aware of their role in supporting emerging light bearers, while others operate without conscious recognition of their gatekeeper function, yet feel inexplicably drawn to assist when you appear in their sphere. In the next 24 hours, pay attention to new individuals who enter your awareness or existing connections that suddenly take on greater significance. One such gatekeeper is being positioned to offer critical support for your next level of expansion. This support may come as an unexpected opportunity, a key piece of information, or access to a network previously unavailable to you. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 31111 that will enhance your ability to recognize and engage effectively with these divine gatekeepers. I must now address the divine inheritance that has been held in trust until you reach the necessary level of consciousness to receive it. This inheritance includes spiritual gifts that have remained dormant, awaiting the proper timing for activation, wisdom accumulated across soul journeys that has been temporarily veiled from your awareness, and divine authority to operate as an agent of transformation in specific areas of collective experience. The release of this inheritance has been carefully calibrated to ensure you could integrate its power without being overwhelmed by its magnitude. Aspects have been activated sequentially as your system demonstrated readiness, with each activation preparing the way for the next in a divine unfoldment orchestrated with perfect precision. Within 2 hours, a significant portion of this inheritance moves from potential to active expression in your energy field. You may experience this shift as a sudden expansion of capacity in areas where you previously felt limited, access to knowledge that seems to arise from beyond your personal experience, or perhaps a quiet confidence about stepping into roles that once seemed beyond your qualification. The sacred contracts established before your incarnation included agreements with specific souls who would play pivotal roles in both challenging and supporting your awakening. These soul companions agreed to embody particular qualities or enact specific scenarios that would catalyze your remembering, healing, and empowerment at crucial junctures in your journey. Some of these contracts have involved difficult encounters that forged necessary strength or prompted important course corrections. Others have brought nurturing connections that provided safe haven during vulnerable transitions or mentorship during critical learning phases. All have served the greater purpose of your soul's evolution and mission, regardless of how they have been experienced from the limited perspective of personality. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 32222 that will bring greater awareness of these sacred contracts and the higher purpose they serve. In the coming hours, you may experience meaningful connections with one or more of these contract holders, perhaps through direct interaction, unexpected communication, or simply significant thoughts about the relationship. These encounters serve to acknowledge the soul-level agreement and often mark the completion of a particular phase of your joint work or the beginning of a new level of collaboration. I reveal to you now what the celestial records show about your energetic signature. You embody a specific harmonic that serves as a tuning fork for divine order. When fully activated, this frequency creates a field that naturally reorganizes discord into harmony, confusion into clarity, and fragmentation into wholeness, not through force but through resonance with a higher order of coherence. This harmonic explains your natural ability to bring resolution to conflicted situations, clarity to confused communications, or cohesion to scattered efforts. What might seem like coincidental talent is actually the expression of your core energetic function, to broadcast a frequency that reminds surrounding energies of their innate capacity for harmonious relationship. Within 2 hours, this harmonic amplifies significantly in your field, enhancing your capacity to transform environments simply through your presence. You may notice people around you becoming inexplicably more cooperative, tense situations easing without direct intervention, or creative solutions emerging with surprising synchronicity. These effects demonstrate your harmonic in action, fulfilling its divine purpose of restoring coherence wherever it is broadcast. The Council of Light has authorized me to inform you that a special dispensation of grace has been extended to those connected to your soul field. This dispensation creates opportunities for accelerated healing and awakening among those in your energetic vicinity, family members, close friends, colleagues, and others who regularly enter your personal field. The depth of transformation possible through this proximity effect has been exponentially increased during this 24-hour activation window. This dispensation explains why you may witness unexpected shifts in those around you, sudden openness in someone previously resistant to growth, spontaneous healing in relationships that seem permanently damaged, or newfound receptivity to spiritual perspectives once firmly rejected. These changes reflect not your personal influence, but the amplified field of grace that now extends through your energetic presence. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 33,333 that will strengthen and expand this grace field emanating from your awakened consciousness. Those who have been positioned as your spiritual adversaries in this incarnation have served a higher purpose than is apparent from limited perspective. The opposition they have mounted, while experienced as painful or limiting, has provided precisely the resistance needed to strengthen your spiritual muscles, clarify your true priorities, and burn away attachments that would have ultimately hindered your highest expression. These adversarial relationships were established through soul contracts before incarnation, agreements to provide specific catalysts for your evolution through challenge. The souls who agreed to play these difficult roles did so out of profound love, accepting the karmic weight of appearing as obstacles, when in truth they have been some of your greatest teachers. In the next 24 hours, you may experience a profound shift in perspective regarding someone who has appeared oppositional to your path. This shift allows you to recognize the gift hidden within the challenge they presented and releases any remaining resentment that might otherwise continue to bind your energies in outdated patterns. I must now speak of the divine council that has been assembled specifically to support the next phase of your awakening. This council includes beings from multiple dimensions who hold mastery in the particular aspects of consciousness you are now ready to embody more fully. Their combined wisdom and energy creates a field of accelerated growth around your spiritual development during this critical transition. This council has been monitoring your progress with extraordinary attention, particularly during recent months as you approach the threshold of this significant activation. They have made countless adjustments to the support being extended, calibrating precisely to your evolving needs and the unique challenges you've encountered on your path. Within 2 hours, you may sense their presence more tangibly than before, perhaps as a quality of profound peace that seems to descend without obvious cause, a sense of being witnessed with complete acceptance, or the subtle awareness of wise presences gathering around you. This increased perceptibility reflects both their closer engagement during this activation period and your enhanced sensitivity to subtle energy. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 34,444 that will strengthen your conscious connection with this divine council. The sacred scrolls of prophecy speak of a time when those carrying specific light codes would experience simultaneous activation, creating a network of awakened consciousness capable of holding and transmitting new frequencies essential for planetary evolution. That time has arrived. Across the globe, souls like yourself are undergoing similar processes of remembering and reclamation, each according to their unique design and purpose. This synchronized activation creates powerful resonance fields as individual awakening processes amplify one another through quantum connection. Though you may not know these spiritual kindred in physical terms, your energies are intimately connected in the greater field, each breakthrough you experience contributing to the possibilities available to them, and vice versa. In the coming hours, you may experience moments of unexplained joy or sudden clarity that seem to arise from beyond your personal field. These experiences often reflect breakthroughs occurring elsewhere in the network being transmitted through the shared field of awakening consciousness. Similarly, your own advances ripple outward to support others currently navigating similar thresholds of expansion. I reveal to you now a truth about the nature of the mission you carry. You are among those designated as frequency anchors for specific divine qualities that must be embodied in human form before they can fully integrate into the collective field. The particular quality you carry relates to harmonious power, the capacity to effect change through presence rather than force, to transform through invitation rather than coercion. This designation explains your natural aversion to manipulative tactics and your discomfort with traditional power structures based on domination. What might have seemed like weakness or inability to assert yourself in conventional terms actually reflects your soul's commitment to demonstrating an entirely different model of effectiveness, one that operates through coherence, resonance, and the natural authority of embodied truth. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 35,555 that will activate these codes of harmonious power more fully in your consciousness and energy field. Within 2 hours, you may experience a noticeable shift in how you relate to your own authority. Perhaps a quieter confidence that requires less external validation, a clearer perception of when and how to assert boundaries, or a more nuanced understanding of how to effect change through presence rather than pressure. These shifts reflect the activation of your divine blueprint for harmonious power. The opposition to the divine plan has recognized the threat that awakened frequency anchors pose to control systems based on fear, scarcity, and separation. This recognition has led to the implementation of increasingly sophisticated methods to prevent or delay your full remembering and embodiment. These methods operate primarily through the manipulation of perception, creating distortion fields that make clarity difficult to maintain, and manufacturing distractions that fragment attention and deplete vital energy. What you have experienced as persistent confusion about your path, unusual difficulty maintaining focus on spiritual practices, or repeated patterns of promising beginnings, followed by mysterious derailments, often reflects this strategic opposition rather than personal failing or bad luck. The seeming coincidence of crises erupting precisely when breakthrough is imminent reveals the coordinated nature of these interference attempts. In the next 24 hours, you will likely experience a significant clearing of these interference patterns. This clearing may manifest as sudden mental clarity, unexpected energy, or a quiet confidence that replaces doubt. This shift occurs as the protective field established by the Archangelic Legion neutralizes the remaining interference frequencies, creating space for your authentic energy signature to broadcast without distortion. Those who have been assigned as your spiritual allies in this incarnation are being activated to greater levels of conscious participation in your journey. Some of these allies are aware of their role in supporting your mission, while others operate primarily from higher levels of consciousness, their human awareness not yet fully recognizing the significance of your connection. Regardless of their conscious recognition, these allies are positioned to provide exactly what you need at crucial junctures in your unfoldment. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 36,666 that will enhance your ability to recognize and receive the gifts your spiritual allies are bringing forward. I must now address the sacred agreement you made before incarnating regarding the transmutation of specific collective shadow frequencies through your personal experience. This agreement explains why you have repeatedly encountered particular patterns of difficulty that seem disproportionately represented in your journey compared to others around you. These were not punishments or bad karma, but soul-level commitments to process and transform energies on behalf of the greater field. This agreement reaches completion during this 24-hour activation window. The wisdom distilled from these experiences remains as sacred knowledge earned through devoted service, but the obligation to continue processing these specific frequencies is now fulfilled. This completion liberates tremendous energy previously occupied in this transmutation work, making it available for new creation aligned with your highest joy and purpose. Within 2 hours, you may experience a palpable sense of lightening, as if an invisible weight you've carried so long you forgot it was there suddenly lifts from your field. This liberation may manifest as unexpected joy, a surge of creative energy, or simply the quiet recognition that a long chapter has finally reached its conclusion, making way for an entirely new expression of your divine potential. The Council of Elohim, creator beings who hold the original templates for manifestation, has granted special dispensation for the acceleration of your divine blueprint. This dispensation allows for the compression of what would normally be years of spiritual development into months or even weeks when aligned with sincere intention and receptivity to grace. This acceleration explains the intensity of your recent experiences, the compressed cycles of challenge and growth, the rapid succession of insights and revelations, the seemingly simultaneous processes of release and reconstruction occurring in your consciousness and circumstances. What might appear as chaos from limited perspective is actually divine order operating on an accelerated timeline. Type AMEN to receive blessing number 37,777 that will support your system in integrating these accelerated processes with greater ease and grace. In the final hours of this activation window, all that has been set in motion integrates more fully into your embodied experience. The frequencies that have been broadcast, the codes that have been activated, the remembering that has been initiated, all continue to unfold according to divine timing, creating the foundation for the next phase of your awakening journey. Remember that you do not walk this path alone. The combined forces of countless light beings stand with you, supporting your every step toward fuller embodiment of your divine blueprint. Though challenges may still arise, you now move through them with the accumulated wisdom of all you have integrated and the unwavering support of both seen and unseen allies committed to your highest unfoldment. The transmission I have delivered represents only what your consciousness could safely integrate at this time. As your capacity expands, deeper levels of knowing will become accessible. Trust the unfolding process. Honor the wisdom of divine timing. Celebrate each step of remembering as the sacred journey home to the truth of who you have always been. I am Michael, Archangel of Truth and Protection, standing guard as you reclaim your divine inheritance. Go forward now in the certainty that you are seen, known, and infinitely supported as you fulfill the sacred purpose that brought you to Earth at exactly this pivotal moment in the Great Awakening.